Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, the anime news show, niche news show, a JRPG news show, a show where Baku and I get to talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. We stream live every single Sunday, every single one at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing some trailers, talking about some upcoming games and some games that already came out. We'll be watching some stuff and talking and responding to super chats at the end of the show. It has been a couple weeks since last we did this. Man,
yes,
every single Sunday.
every single Sunday, rain or shine.
Is that the longest recurring joke that we've had in this show? I think it might be. It might just be the oldest recurring joke at this point.
Yes.
Hey, it's good to see you guys. I hope that you're all having a wonderful Sunday so far. Baku, how are you doing today, man?
I am doing fantastic, sir. Just a little busy with life stuff. 4th of July just happened. I had a lot of food, a lot of good food. I ate so much at I think like 4 p.m. yesterday that I wasn't hungry until like 4 p.m. today. Like around 4, I was like, oh, I'm finally getting hungry again. I ate so much in one sitting.
That sounds painful, man.
But the food was really good, so I wasn't too upset. Yeah, I went to a friend's housewarming. It was really nice. They got a nice place, one of my friend had that their daughter was just born, and they brought her along. Baby Stella, super cute. But when they came in with the baby, I'm like, oh no, we're having babies in our parties now. This is this is.
Oh yeah, you're old now.
Babies in our party. No, she's super cute, and she didn't like cry or anything. She was like super chill baby. It was really nice. Anywho, so that's my weekend. How's your weekend, sir? What do you do?
Man, I've been okay. So last week, I think the last time we talked, I was still very much in the thick of playing through Baldur's Gate 3. I'm done with that now. Amy and I have finished that game. And as of right now, I'm about 90 hours into Oblivion.
My God.
The Oblivion remake. I can't help it. Okay. I'm on a Western RPG, a Western JRPG kick.
A Western JRPG.
They're all just JRPGs.
Just have a fishing mini game.
Yep.
Fishing.
Nope. There's no fishing in Oblivion. Wait.
Yes, there is.
There is. There is fishing in Oblivion.
Okay.
I did the fishing quest. Where you got to go kill a whole bunch of slaughterfish. That took a while. I went fishing with a sword, of course, as one does.
As one does.
You don't use a fishing rod. You just go in and swim in there with like the man-eating fish, and you just slice and dice, and that's how you catch them.
Man-eating fish.
Yeah. They look like eels, but with like, you ever seen those kingfishers like from the deep sea with like the teeth that look like that? It's like that. It's
okay.
Great. They're nasty. It's cool. Anyways, so it was a lot of fun. I'm about 90 hours in. I'm like level 32 in the game, which is way past end game, and I'm like just taking a casual tour of the entire game. Just kind of like, probably do everything. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun, man.
No, thanks. It's been a lot of fun. And it's wild how having the Steam Deck connected to the TV just kind of, because that's where I've been playing, on a couch in front of a big TV, with my Steam Deck connected to the TV over. I think I talked about the setup last time. Moonlight and sunlight and moonlight, sunshine and moonlight, whatever.
Sunshine and moonlight.
Point is, I'm game streaming to the to the Steam Deck, and it has been awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Technology, who knew? Man.
I finally found a way to use my Steam Deck after owning it for like 2 years. I made one video, and I'm like, Yeah, I I don't I don't really need a Steam Deck, and now I do. Now it's
I mean,
indispensable because it's a streaming console.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if that's what it takes to make use of things you've bought, are you? Would you say that this is one of those situations where you're trying to justify the purchase, or
No,
did you have this in mind and like you're
it was
just trying to make this thing
absolutely
happen?
emergent, just
Mhm.
a naturally like evolving kind of thing that just like I was like, I don't know how to play. I'm like, okay, I refuse to buy digital games for console. That's the first pillar, okay?
Mm.
And I wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3.
Mhm.
The Baldur's Gate 3 does have a physical release, and it is on PlayAsia as well. But the original English version, the English release, is something like $1,000 on eBay at this point. I don't recall the exact
Jeez.
number, but I think that's about right. It's the collector's edition.
Mhm.
And if you get the PlayAsia version, it happens to, for whatever reason, remove some of the adult content of it. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend money on a censored version. So I guess I'm going to have to play it on PC. Now,
Yeah,
how
you
do I
had no
play
choice.
on my PC with Amy? So that means couch co-op, which Baldur's Gate 3 does support, which is cool. Couch
Mhm.
co-op, good. But how do I get PC that's in the basement onto TV upstairs? What do? Enter streaming on the Steam Deck. It was the
My
coolest thing.
God. That is brilliant. You guys hear that? Did you guys know you could do this? Be honest.
Yeah. I had no idea. It's the first, because I already have like a gaming PC. Well, it was, an video editing PC. Now it is a gaming PC. It's PCs are multifaceted things. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's called Steam Link. No. So Praetorian, Steam Link is garbage. I tried it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It does really low quality streams between the PC and the TV. And it is really inconsistent, even over like a hardwire network with like a gigabit speeds, throughput. Meanwhile, I switched to Sunshine is the server component on my PC, and Moonlight runs on the deck, and it is just so much better. Miles and miles better. It's wild.
I need you to give me like a tutorial on how to do this, because I am actually pretty interested in
Really?
how to set that up so I can play it on the TV elsewhere on the network.
And then I just have a couple of like 10-foot long USB type A to C cables for like charging. I'm playing on my PS5 controllers because I happen to have two controllers because they were in the bundle that I had to buy in order to get the PS5 to begin with. So yeah, now my PS5 controllers are just Steam Deck controllers. It's crazy. Oh, someone says they smell a Super Derek video. Well, maybe so at some point. Yeah. Maybe I'll do something like that. Thing is, it is not a user-friendly thing to set up, and that does bug me a little bit. Moonlight is fine. It's easy to set that up. Sunshine, it's easy to set that up mostly, but then you have to tell it how to start your games on your local machine, and there's not like an interface to like just point at the executable. You have to give it the path to the file, and then Steam, if you're using Steam, tries to do some weird BS to like, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Derek likes to finagle these things, and it works.
Yeah, I do like to tweak things and make them work. But yeah, I think we're way off a topic. Let's talk about some games.
Are we off topic though? Because I feel like that's what people are truly here to listen to.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, the games doesn't even matter. They just want to know how to set this thing.
Well, I will preface the show. Is it too late to? we're like 10 minutes in. Is it too late to preface a show that you're 10 minutes into? I'd like to preface the show by saying some RPG news for everyone is the title, and some is the operating word.
Mm-hmm.
We have
That's
a pretty
exactly
good show
right.
today, but we do have. I think Baku said that only a couple of things were actually RPG specific, really. But
Yeah.
but I think that a lot of the other things that we saw are looking pretty cool. So let's dive in to some past releases, updates, and stuff. Yes, updates to past releases. That's the button.
Yes. Let's do it. All right. So the first thing that we have on the docket is Kiwi Talks or Kiwi Walks. The name
Oh,
keeps getting me. Yeah, Kiwi Walks. Have you ever heard of Kiwi Walks before? They're a Korean developer,
I
and
think
they
I've
are
heard of them when we last talked about this game, but
yeah.
that's it.
They're known for one game called the WitchSpring series, which they've actually been making this series for 10 years now, and this is relatively unknown in the West,
Mhm.
very much beloved by the cult following. But what we did want to talk about is these new DLC called the Followers Fall, which they have announced that will offer post-ending stories for the main characters, tales of new warlords, and a brand new storyline, which is pretty cool. That's a good amount of stuff for a DLC, like post-ending stuff,
Mhm.
new warlords, brand new story, and it will also feature full voice acting in Korean and Japanese. Sorry, no English. Let's take a look at the trailer really quick, just to sort of refresh folks' memories of what Spring is about.
Sure, let's pull that up.
Yeah,
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
yeah. I
After,
mean, Derek, we do this every single
oh
week,
dear,
every single week.
what happened? Why is the trailer so small?
Why is this so small? What is going
Here,
on?
there we go.
What did you do?
Just just doing this. That's all.
Fix it on the spot, yo. Fix it.
Do
on
it
the
live.
spot.
That's
Do it live.
the most professional stream on all of YouTube. Maybe that's the longest running joke on the show. Yes.
So yes, the DLC again is called The Followers Fall. For anyone who is not aware of WitchSpring actually plays a lot like the Atelier series. You play as a witch.
Mhm.
It's very lighthearted. For the most part, you do collect things, you craft things. And instead of it's kind of like alchemy, right? But instead you're a witch, right? So you do these little witchcraft stuff. It's a lot of fun. The story is surprisingly well written for a title that does not look well, it doesn't look as impressive as perhaps like an Atelier game. An Atelier game feels a little bit more like double A, if anything, right? But
Yeah.
this certainly doesn't have that feeling. But it plays extremely well. And don't take my words for it. Go over to Steam. If you go over to Steam, it's like 5,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. Like
Oh, heck yeah.
I can't make this up. Like just go look at it, right?
That's
So
really
if
good
you're
for a
ever
notoriously
interested,
salty group of people.
no, I feel like this is one of those hidden gem. Like there's another game that's kind of like a hidden gem. Like Ender Lilies is kind of a hidden gem
Oh,
game
yeah,
where
yeah.
like it's overwhelmingly positive, but you don't really hear people talk about it. And then there
Yeah.
are games like what is it? Blaster Atlas. I can never remember the name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Yeah. I'll figure it out later. But
Chat's
it's one
probably
of
got
those
your
game
back.
again that was just like universally, praised.
Yeah.
But I can't for the life of me remember the name. Alabaster. I'm gonna figure that one out.
Alabaster
Which Spring
Dawn.
is another one of those games.
Is it Alabaster
Whereas
Dawn?
I think so.
That's the first thing that comes up to me, and it looks like an RPG, and it looks cool. Um,
Yeah. It's not Alabaster Dawn. It's something else.
yeah.
I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Alabaster Dawn is something else. but
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about something else. Alabaster Dawn is also pretty good on its own right. But I'll figure it out. But yeah, WitchSpring is one of those games, so that's why I want to talk about it. And here's the other thing that's really cool: this whole DLC is free.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
yeah, another one of those
Excuse me, I'm out
cool
of
stuff. It's
practice.
like, excuse me, as I announce how expensive this DLC is. It's the low price of free, free 99, as the kids like to say it. Yeah, but and just to sweeten the pot a little bit, if you'd like, you can pick up the game right now for 35% off. Hashtag not sponsored, but hashtag can be sponsored. Kiwi Walks, we should talk. But yeah, I highly recommend it. If anyone wants to take a look at it, yeah, it's 35% off. And the DLC that's coming, the expansion is basically free. So check it out. And we've got more DLC news coming with this next one that I am really piff about.
It's kind of funny. So I was reading in chat. Anthony said something like, "What? Isn't that the game that came out like a year ago?" Well, here's DLC update for a game that came out in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Publisher Deck 13 Spotlight and developer Umami Tiger have announced that Chained Echoes downloadable content Ashes of Elrant will be releasing on the 7th of August. Or is that right, or is that the 8th of July? Probably the 7th of August. Yeah.
It is the 7th of August, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
August 7th, yes.
And we have a release date trailer as well to showcase this a little bit here. So let's check this out.
Do it.
Yeah, came out in December of 2022. It hurts. Man, that's
Ooh, it's so pretty.
such a good looking game. A look at the fishing mini game.
Oh, there's the fishing mini game.
Super important.
You can't say it's not a JRPG anymore. It's a fishing mini game. It's oh my god. It feels nice to talk about games like these, because it's one of those I mean, it's a few good success story in its own right. It is a great game, and the DLC is coming, especially for like the indie sphere, right? They were always like, oh yeah, well, there's no good turn-based game. I was like, this is a good turn-based game.
And you know what else? It feels really good to be able to say something like positive news about Chained Echoes. And in fact, I was inspired by this news. I was thinking, you know what? Let's just go over onto First Press Games website and look at the blog and find out how things are looking for us people who ordered or pre-ordered the, physical copy. The last update was from 3 months ago, and it was in French, I think. I don't know what it said. I didn't have time. So, not really looking great.
According to their their progress page, they have like a progress page for all the things that all the product queue, and according to that page, it is being manufactured in April 2025, so like 3 months ago.
Yeah it is being manufactured 3 months ago, so cool. I think I think anyways, we'll tell you more when we know more, but right now we don't really know more.
Yeah. Oh, how much is it? Oh, that's a good question.
The DLC?
Yeah, I forgot to include the price.
Oh, yeah. How much is that?
The answer to your question is it appears that it would be free, because I don't see a price.
More free DLC? Two for the price of none?
I don't see a price on
Steam?
Anywhere.
That's a good question. Let's plug it into Steam here. Ashes of Elrant.
It didn't have a price. I'm reading all the publications, like no one's talking about a price.
Yeah,
I mean, there might be one.
There might be
when it releases, but at this point in time, there's nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so it's probably not free, but yeah.
I can't imagine.
You can still go get the original game if you want it on Steam, and and then you wouldn't have to wait for shipping.
Yeah, August 7th.
That is.
Nope,
Yeah.
I just don't see a price. I mean, the original game right now is $7.99. Oh, I say no.
No, that's the soundtrack. I was about to say it's a stellar deal, but
yeah. We read the same thing, did we?
yep, totally.
Yeah, I'm looking at the videos. They haven't said anything about it costing anything, although the fact that they're not saying it is free is kind of telling me that
he would
it's
probably lead with that
cost
if it was
something.
free. So
Yeah,
probably not.
It just didn't say anything. Sorry. I wish I can tell you. Anywho, let's see here. Are we ready to move on to the next one?
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. The next thing that we have is from Brace Yourself Games, which is the name of the company. Has released multiple song DLCs for their game Wrath of the Necrodancer. It's those guys. Yeah, I love them. They make fun games. Now, these DLCs I am legally obligated to announce. Me, Baku, is legally obligated to announce because the packs are called Hatsune Miku pack and the Hall Life music pack. I have a legal duty to announce anything as it relates to Miku and video games.
Okay, I was gonna say, were you gonna? I thought you were about to make an investment
sign my
disclosure.
life away to Miku. And
I thought you were about to disclose that having an investment in like HoloLive or whatever at this point.
I had thought about buying their stocks, but I never did.
Should have.
I even found a way to do it.
Probably not too late.
Well, no, because they are actually incorporated in Japan. So because I'm not a Japanese citizen, it's
a little harder.
You have to go through some hoops to be able to buy their stocks. But whatever, it's fine. Miku has Baku's sole contract. That is true. That is absolutely true. I have no choice. Songs, of course, as the name implies, the game will include songs from Miku and Hololive Talent, which is actually pretty cool. I like seeing these little like indie games and crossovers with stuff. Like I always find it really cool. I could have sworn that they did a thing with like Zelda too. Didn't they?
They totally did.
The Necrodancer, but the Necroman. Yeah, they did, right?
Yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer definitely had a Hyrule like DLC pack or something.
No. It was a full game. It wasn't even a DLC. It was a full game based on the Zelda, franchise. So I thought it was super cool for them to be able to do stuff like that.
Cadence of Hyrule. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Oh, I played it. That thing was really fun. Yeah. So the packs are immediately available, and they're going for $1.99 per song, which is pretty worth it for anyone who likes rhythm game because. As a rhythm game player, let me tell you, every song is going to consume hours of my time until I get it perfect. It's one of those things, right? So $2 for a song is actually not too bad. But there you go. That concludes all of the update to past releases. Yay. And now on to upcoming releases that are games coming out this week. Pass it over to you, Mr. Derek.
Okay. Wait. I hit the wrong button.
The most professional podcast
upcoming
on YouTube.
Releases this week. So we talked about this a little bit ago, and now it's time to talk about it again because it's about to come out. Patapon 1 and 2 Replay. That is, in fact, the remastered version of the unique PSP era rhythm strategy RPGs. Patapon 1 and 2 is coming soon. As the name implies, you will get, in fact, both Patapon 1 and 2 in this bundle. It's coming out on the 11th of the month here, so just about a little less than a week away for PS5, Switch, and PC via Steam, and we have a trailer for it as well, just to kind of remind everybody of what this is, in case you missed it the first time around, or the first time around on PSP.
Patapon is such a fun game.
It's an odd one.
I can't suggest this game enough for people who are just looking for something a little different. It is a rhythmic strategy game. And like the thing about this game is that it's not like there's like a. So have you ever played rhythm game before, Derek?
I've played a rhythm game or two once upon a
Yeah.
time.
So usually it's like on a kind of a moving
Vertical.
like bar where the
Yeah, yeah.
music, the notes just comes at you, right? And that's
Yeah, I
a
played a
rhythm
lot of
game.
Guitar Hero back in the day.
Yeah. So one of those, right? But this
Yeah.
game is different. There's a bass rhythm that plays, but you have to change the keys depending on what you want to do to the enemy. So this is not like a rhythm game. You have to decide what button to press, but you have to press it onto the beat. Does that make sense?
Oh.
So attack,
Okay.
defense, retreat, each of those is a button. And you have to do it onto the beat for maximum effect. But whether or not to attack or defend or retreat or whatever,
That's up to you.
depends on the situation on the map as you're fighting the enemy.
Interesting.
So it's rhythm, but it's also strategic. You have to think about
rhythm.
what to do. It's not just
Okay.
about hitting the right button when it shows up. That's not the only thing you need to do.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was how that worked. I think we talked about it once before, and you're like, it's hard to describe, and then you kind of didn't really describe it after that.
Yeah, it is
that's-
hard to describe, but seeing the video hopefully gives people some sense of what the game's about. And I guarantee it's so much fun. This game is so much fun. There's not too much in the way of a story or whatever. There's some more, but the game is so entertaining. So if you like rhythm game, you like strategy game, give this game a shot. It's really good.
All right. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, so it's coming out for PS5, Switch, and PC via Steam in a little less than a week on 7/11. Now,
7/11.
it is time for us to talk about some new games that were announced. The new ones. News.
Woo!
Actual
All
news.
right. So some of these are not like news, but because I'm so hyped about it, I still want to touch up on it.
Sure.
And the first one that we're going to talk about is yet another Atelier title from Gus. And this one feels a little bit like Atelier Nelk. I never really know how to pronounce that one.
I think it's Nelk or
Yeah,
Nelka.
it's Nelk, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is a crossover series that will feature protagonists from across the franchise. So typical Atelier series comes in trios or so, and they'll usually have multiple protagonists. This one's a little different. This one was actually originally based on a world from a mobile game, but then they decided to make it a fully playable, no mobile, no nonsense, single player experience RPG. So this is a turn-based RPG.
Yeah. When I heard about this originally, and that it was kind of first announced-ish, a lot of people were like on the fence and like, do I really want to play something like this? Who knows? Because they were assuming it's going to be kind of more gacha, more, more
well,
of that.
It's either it would be more gacha or it would just be like, here, let's just take the gacha game and then here you go. Now you have basically the gacha game without the gacha, like happy. But no, this is actually a brand new game. You know what? Let's just clarify this right here and now. This is a brand new game built from the ground up. That is not the gacha game. It's just based in that world with the protagonist. But because it was based on a gacha game, it actually kind of makes sense that it would be a crossover game as well with protagonists from other games. But this is a turn-based RPG. This is very much a bona fide Atelier experience from all the things I've read and seen. And in battle, it's up to 6 characters, 3 in the front, 3 in the back, turn-based RPG with the timeline and all. It looks really good, but let's take a look at the trailer. Don't take my words for it. You take a look and you decide.
All right.
I think it looks fantastic.
Let's pull that
for an Atelier game.
Any moment now, my video will load. I don't know why it's not working.
It's loading on my end, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's playing.
Oh, weird.
I even paused it.
I'm
playing it again. Do Do you
I
see
think
anything?
my Firefox is hosed or something. That's weird.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. I'll just tell it
Okay.
to play one more time, maybe.
Okay. Is it working?
So far, so bad.
Or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna just close
Well, in the
out of
meantime, I'll
Firefox
just talk to
entirely.
people. How
Yeah.
are you guys doing? Yeah, totally seeing you guys there. Yeah, we do this show every single Sunday. Do you guys know that? Every Sunday, without fail. We've never missed a single Sunday. Just
Not
like
a
how
one.
you guys have never missed a single Sunday of coming here. Let's say hi
All
to a
right.
couple of people. Shiosama, hello. Anthony, hello.
Here it
Did
is.
it work? I said hello to people. Martino, hello. James, hello.
Oh, I see Shiro, but they want
welcome,
Baku
welcome.
to notice you. I'm sorry.
I notice everyone every single Sunday.
I will say the Atelier games do look really nice.
Oh yeah.
Visuals, aesthetics, like
The voice acting's nice, the visuals are nice, the character designs are nice, the music's nice. Like, if you want something low stake and just like you just want to just relax and play a cozy RPG, this is it. You're not. I mean, you're gonna save the world, perhaps, but like, it's nothing like a trail situation with like world-ending consequences, perhaps. Like, okay, I lied. There has been a couple of games, but for the most part, it's like just help the townsfolk and have little like play dates with your friends and
yeah.
pretty chill. Make a potion for people down the street. Like,
Find a cat in a tree, stuff like that.
No, totally, totally a thing that has happened in the Atelier series, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a very chill story. Yeah, so we see Sophie, we see Totori, we see some protagonists from previous games.
Well, cool.
Yeah, there are some heartwarming stories like in these games. But again, definitely not the like ultra macho, aggressive, like chaos kind of game.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
I forgot which game those little guys are from. The little guys.
I couldn't
I
tell
forgot
you.
which game they're from.
No.
It's something Iris. Is it
Atelier
Atelier Iris?
Iris?
Oh, I think it's Atelier Iris. Yeah, she'll someone would know because this is like her favorite series. Anywho, so that is Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian. It is coming out September 26th of this year, releasing on PS5, Switch, and PC via Steam. PS4 version, for whatever reason, is only available in Japan. They made a big note about. I don't know.
Huh.
It's very, very bizarre, but I have to announce it to you in case you're like, oh, I have a PS4. I'll get it for PS4. It's only available in Japan. Which you can still get it. You just need a Japanese PSN or whatever. But just so you know, anyone who
also
orders
need
the
to
game, anyone who
Japanese
orders the
probably
game
too.
up to the first 2 weeks after release will receive the Activewear Adventuring set for the protagonist and the Adventuring Charm set as part of the early purchase bonuses. So now you know. Oh, the next game is like Derek's favorite. Go on, Derek. Tell us.
Well, I was gonna
about-
say, I think I know maybe why it is that they didn't release the PS4 version in the West.
Oh, why is that?
It's probably just because they anticipate selling many more copies in Japan for PS4 or just in general, and they didn't want to create a whole new SKU just for the PS4 US version, in order to help
Interesting.
push people toward the PS5 release.
But that also means like worldwide. Like think about their other markets like Europe and it's not just America. It's like Europe won't have
it's not.
it, and then like
But it's
Southeast
also,
Asia won't have it.
I mean, like you said before, though, Japan, it's really popular there, especially like Japanese women really like the Atelier series.
yes,
it's like a big deal there.
It's a kind of a big
And
deal.
it's super niche here, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's probably part of it, is just scale. That's how they're able to make those releases profitable. That's my guess.
Yeah.
And maybe the $70 price tag on a PS5 release offsets some of those costs a little bit.
It may
Anyways.
have. Yes.
Yeah, so you were saying one of my favorite games? Well, how about one of your everybody's favorite little games? From Bandai Namco and Supermassive Games, they've announced Little Nightmares 3. And it's finally got a launch date, and we have a trailer to go along with it.
Well,
so
I'm so
let's check
excited
out...
about this one. I love Little Nightmares. And Derek loves it too. Derek loves
I've never played
horror
it.
games.
It's not really a horror game though, is it?
It's horror.
it's horror coded, but like
it's horror.
Okay.
You're getting chased around by some monstrosities. It's pretty horror.
All right, if you say so.
It's not like zombie horror or like psychological horror. So I still don't exactly understand what Little Nightmare is really about, but from what I've read, I mean, the story-wise, I'm not sure what it's about. I'm still trying to connect. But from what I've read, Little Nightmare is really about confronting your childhood fears, like from the creator perspective. So you see a lot of these things are like childhood fears.
Sure.
Made into a game. Like, you know, there is an underlying story.
It looks so whimsical.
I mean, it's
kind of Tim Burton-y.
I guess this is sort of like the world that you see as a small child. Everything is ginormous, right? Everything is beyond your control, and you're simply trying to survive it all.
Dude, I think you just described like life for everybody.
Something oddly profound about that. Oh, I love Little Nightmares. It's such a great game. I want to day one this so bad, but I don't think I can day one this one.
All right.
And it's coming out on October 10th of this year on all modern consoles. And because it's coming in October, it's perfect time for Spooktober. Perfect timing for Spooktober.
Now,
Derek should play it.
This next one, I'm just gonna ignore that. This next one, when you hear the name Project M, I know that a certain group of people out there are thinking about Super Smash Brothers and a mod that was released for the Wii version of Smash Bros. To make it function more like Melee. This is a little bit different from that.
Yes, it certainly is. And I had to look it up. As a matter of fact, I didn't know what Project M was. So when I was looking it up, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not the game that I need. So I'm doing research. I'm like, this is not it. Like, what is this? Well, this game is called Project Code M.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. Now, we actually talked about this game all the way back in May of 2022. You know,
wow, that's around when
Chained
Echoes came out.
This game was described to us as a killing and solving detective adventure game, which made very little sense. I'm scratching my head. And it was so captivating when I saw the...
Was this the one where you play as two halves of it? Like you play as the killer and the detective? And like
yes. That one. One. Yes. And it was so captivating because the art was it was so nice and it was so intriguing.
I remember the concept. Yeah.
Right. The concept was so intriguing. And I was like, ooh, I want to see more of it. And then just like absolute silence after the teaser. Like we haven't heard a single word from it. Every now and then I'll look it up like what happened to Project like Code M? Like nothing, right? And I thought it was going to frizzle out because when you're covering like game news for as long as, you know, we have, or more like Derek, you've seen a couple of games frizzle out that way. And then one of these days they release like an announcement. They're like, yeah, sorry, no, we're out of funding. You know,
oh, dude,
making this. This is so
I think we missed talking about it, but do you remember Alzara?
Yeah. Oh, we should talk about Alzara.
Yeah.
We should. We'll talk about Alzara later in the... Okay. Yeah, industry.
I'll throw a comment in.
Yes, please. Yeah. So, I thought that it was going to frizzle and never make their market. until now, that is, because of course, if we're talking about this game now, it means that we've got some good news. Arxis Games came to the rescue and just announced that they will be publishing this game, and we have a new trailer that gives us a better idea of what this game is actually about.
It's Axis Games. Don't
Axis, not Arxis.
Okay,
Axis.
not
Axis.
because I could hear people probably get that confused with like Arc System Works.
What?
Which would be wild, but no, Axis Games.
No, you know what's the crazy part is? Axis Games and Art System Games are actually super tight knit too.
Uh-huh. I know. That has to be so hard.
Which makes it even more confusing, but they're not at all related, like structurally speaking. They're two separate companies completely. But anyways, they came to the rescue, Axis Games, and they're like, yeah, no, we'll pick this up. We'll make it happen. And we got a new trailer. Let's take a look.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hang on.
I swear there's like nothing like bad about it.
It's just because you sent me like the M-rated trailer for it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's got some blood on it. It's
well, whatever. Well, I wonder if there's a mirror on YouTube. The most professional stream on all of YouTube.
Yes. Let me keep talking here. While that happens. So Alzara. We're gonna cover Alzara later on because I completely forgot about it. I talked about Alzara on my stream, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, I stream over on Twitch. We did talk about it. I have vented my frustration over there, and there are things to be frustrated about when it comes to the Alzara situation. I backed that game. And I'm never seeing that money again, so I'm a little upset, but maybe more than a little upset about it. But the most upsetting thing is really just about their attitude and how they're like, "Whoopsie daisy, it happens." It's like it's the most non-apology ever. But we'll read I'll find that update and we'll read it to you. Here we go. Let's watch Code M.
Oh, this is totally going to get us copy striked. I'm going to just turn that down, way down.
Sure.
I
do love the music, though.
I know. I'm still going a little bit. Well, it's coming out your side of things, but I should have it really low for the stream.
Okay.
But
I turned it up for me, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so what do you think? Project Code M. Oh, you gotta wipe the blood off to read the sign?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's why it's not allowed.
Yeah. I don't even think it's anything bad. I don't know. Am I jaded by all this? Like I just don't. I felt nothing. I mean, it's just make-believe scenario.
Oh, yeah, cool. So you're like trying to cross-reference different images with like different locations and find out where the person's being killed captive.
I'm guessing this is the Japanese version because it's now in Japanese. But
yeah,
basically, this is a situation where you have to play the murderer, but also the detective. And when you're playing, like, I don't know which part of the game it is, but during certain sections of the game, you have to select certain things that will take certain amount of time. Probably the murder phase, where you have to basically craft like a perfect untraceable murder within that amount of time. And every action takes a certain amount of time. So there's some puzzle element to it too. So you have to think through like what to do. It's not just like point and click everything and move on and just read the story, right? There is gameplay involved. The art is just it's so good. I absolutely love the art in this game. Yeah, I am definitely going to play this game. I'm so intrigued by the story and the killing and solving detective adventure game. I'm so intrigued.
Pretty neat.
By this.
It is pretty neat.
Conceptually and artistically speaking, it's just right in my like strike zone for games that are a little bit off the off the beaten path. Yeah.
Well,
anyways, so this game has no release date yet, unfortunately, but it is currently being developed for PS4, the Switch, and PC. So as soon as there is a release date, we will let you guys know about it.
You betcha. Shueisha Games have just released a new trailer that gives us a better idea about their upcoming adventure game called Schrodinger's Call. From the Steam page, in a world devoid of human life, you awaken as Mary, the last ear to listen, the last voice to speak. Forsaken souls seek your help over numerous calls in desperate attempts to regain the feelings they've lost. Souls bound with strong regrets suffer somewhere between the lands of the living and the dead, desperately waiting for someone willing to listen. Will you be that ear and voice? I mean, when you say it like that, I mean, I kind of have to, right?
Yeah, I feel coerced into this position. I don't know.
I know. Like, jeez. Choose the words you want to speak to the souls who cannot die, and the actions that you want to take to save them and advance the story. That's also like that's more of a command. That's like telling you what to do. I don't.
They're like forcing us to do this. Nope, I'm an introvert. I know, right, Martino? It's just like, what if I'm an introvert? What if I don't? I don't want to talk to you. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess instead
another
you ever wonder
interesting title that also has really intriguing concepts. Again, indie games, man. I'm telling you, indie games is where all these super cool concepts are coming from.
You know, you ever think like, so psychics who talk to the dead are sometimes called mediums because they act as like the intermediary between you and the spirit world, I guess.
Right.
I wonder if an introvert psychic is just called a low.
Mayhaps. So apparently in this game, there's a phone in front of you and you listen to all these like dead souls and you have to like piece things together. So it's kind of like another detective kind of game.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I love the art so much.
It is an interesting take on the artwork. I don't think it's necessarily like my cup of tea. The whole like, I don't know. I like it. It looks cool. It looks like hand drawn stuff. That's neat.
Yeah.
I like games that look like video games.
These are things that just like draws me in.
It's artistic and it's cool, but it looks like an art piece that like I might watch somebody else play it for a little while. I'd pop into your stream for like 10 minutes, throw in a couple of Twitch bits and like bounce.
Yeah.
Probably.
That sounds like a typical Baku stream experience right there. Just like me playing some like avant-garde like game. Like what are you playing right now?
What is this thing?
This game is called Schrodinger's Call. You might not understand, but it's
that's cool, Baku. Well, I'm just gonna go AFK for a bit.
Have a good AFK, sir. As I indulge in this game. Anyways, the game is so that one is coming out in 2026 for PC. And this next one is sort of the polar opposite, I think, of what we just saw. It doesn't need a whole lot of explaining other than it's a hack and slash game from D3 publisher called Full Metal Schoolgirl.
What more do you need? What more do you need? I'm buying day one.
We've gone from Schrodinger's Call to Full Metal Schoolgirl.
Let's check this out.
Let's take a look at Full Metal
Let's
Schoolgirl.
go. This is probably.
Go.
I haven't even seen the trailer for this, but I have let's just say I'm like 70% sure this is probably closer to being up my alley. Let's check it out. Let's see.
2089. United Federations of Japan. Machine girls would get their revenge.
I think the previous game is what you would call like video game cinema. And this ain't.
You just go in and just wreak havoc.
Yeah.
It is a hack and slash, and you you just kill things and blow things up. There's not a whole lot to
the duality of weaves right here from previous game to this game. That just shows you like the two natures of gaming.
You are robot girls fighting against a evil corporation that overworks people, but you're also killing the androids that are working. I don't know.
It's okay, guys. They may be machines, but they still have jiggle physics.
I hate every part of this.
The stream froze. Oh, there he goes. Okay,
but machine guns and yeah, it's missiles and
look, she had a chainsaw arm. That's some Evil Dead stuff.
Cyborg girls. Okay, they're cyborg girls. They are
that means that
totally
they started off as
machine
human,
and
right?
Yeah.
As opposed to Android, which is something that was built from the ground up. So,
these are the people who also made Earth Defense Forces. So, I just no surprise that this is.
Sometimes you can judge a book by its cover, and that cover said, "This is going to be crazy."
I would play this. I would 100% play this just for the insanity. This one's coming out on October 23rd of this year for PS5, Switch 2, and PC via Steam and Epic. So lots of ways to play.
Yeah, Shiro in chat says, "I don't think I'll play this one." See, there's two kinds of people in this world. Those who say, I won't play this one, and then there's the people who say, I will play this one with the curtains drawn and the door shut and the lights off.
I'm playing this one with the whole world watching.
Oh God, you're throwing it up on Twitch. We'll see
the gameplay. Yes,
that'll be fun. I would stick around for that one for at least 30 minutes.
Do it.
All right. Well, so that was Full Metal Schoolgirl. You already said when it's coming out. So I guess that leaves us with this next one that was originally called Bacanayar. Oh God. Is that what I think it is? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacanayar.
This game was released in Japan in 2000, the year of our Lord, 2023. Cats Away is the new title, as it is called in the Western release, is coming according to developer Studio Saizensan.
I love how hard it is to pronounce.
Hang on. Saizenshin. It's probably with a shin, right? Saizensen?
Close enough.
Okay. Anyways, the players manage the crew and the resources of a sailing ship on an exciting and dangerous exploratory voyage. Steer the ship during combat maneuvers into more advantageous positions and giving orders to the on the fly to counter enemy attacks.
Yeah.
So
it's a naval battle game.
Oh my
with cats.
Goodness. Let's check it out. You know what?
And it's called Cats Away.
Cats Away! The real-time strategy game of naval warfare.
With cats.
Naval war. Oh my God! Did you see the zoom in on the belly buttons?
Yes.
Stalk sea monsters. Pounce on pirates.
Cats.
Oh my gosh.
Cats. I wanted to give you something with
Handsome
a
Rogues,
stupid
that's
punny
me.
name. More cats. More feline friends. More cats, people. Cats away.
That cat.
That's an actual cat with the hat.
It is an
right
actual
there.
cat. That is false advertising. Unless that's a playable character. Unless that's a playable character.
But
anyways, that's a thing that's happening.
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's coming out here very soon. In about 4 days. That's the 10th. And it's coming out digitally on the PS5 and the Nintendo Switch and the PC via the Steam.
All right. This next one is a bit of a doozy. Guys, if I were to talk about Arc System Works, You know, the thing that not to be confused with Access games. What would come to your mind immediately?
Dragon Ball Z, the fighting game, Fighters Z.
Fighting games, right? Fighting games, probably, right?
Was it Blaze Blue? Did they also do that
Yeah.
too?
Oh, yeah. They did Blaze Blue. They do Guilty Gear.
Yeah, Guilty Gear.
They do all that, right? Fighter Z.
Yeah.
They do all the notable fighting games that aren't Capcom in
Bubble
the last
Bobble.
like 10 years are all like Arc System games. Arc System Works.
Yeah.
Well, the famous fighting game studio surprised everyone during their recent showcase with a new non-fighting game, an interactive adventure game called Dear Me, I Was. Let's take a look at the trailer because this is nothing that you would think that Arc System Works would make. Just
Oh man, I wonder what kind of fighting game it's gonna be.
that's what everyone said.
What the?
That's what everyone said during the
They see the
during
splash, and then
showcase.
everybody just collectively goes, "What the?"
They're like, what the? Exactly. They were like, what is this? What's going on? This is not a fighting game. It's fighting its way into your heart. That's exactly what it is.
Buddy,
This game
you don't
is,
know. It could be a fighting game. Well, this is just the intro.
10 hours into the game, you thought you were done and it becomes a fighting game.
I'm still trying to figure out the move set. How do I shorter you can? For some reason, I'm gonna play as a little girl character, but you know, she won't punch when I tell her to.
She wouldn't punch. She's skipping. She's like running away. She's crying, but she's not punching people. Yeah, I'm
Comes out
I'm
the other
pretty
side
sure
of the game.
this
Dude, this is the best fighting game ever.
ever made.
Okay.
Okay, so the part of the reason why I brought this game up is, well, first of all,
I assumed it was because it looked like the I Am Setsuna logo.
oh God, you know what? You're right. That's like no. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is, first of all, it was a huge surprise. Like everyone, I have a lot of friends who are into fighting games, and they're all collectively like, "WTF?" when they saw that. They're like, "What is this?" They were so puzzled. They were like, "Is she gonna start like Shoryuken people?"
Right?
Like
That's what I
I'm
said.
kind of waiting for, because they thought it was supposed to be like intro video into like a fighting game, but they were
Yeah.
just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Yep, that was it. That was the game. This is an adventure game from Arc System Works." I was just like, what? So I had to bring it up. But secondly, and this is the more interesting part. I've always said that Arc System Works. I keep saying Arc System Games. There's actually Arc System Works. Their animation technology is a cut above like most
It's
studios,
phenomenal,
hands
yeah.
down. Like they're so good at it. But they always make fighting game, and they make great fighting games. But what if they were to use that same technology and branch into things like RPGs and other games? Well, here it is. They are branching into other games. It's that same beautiful animation, but they're making it. They're like, well, let's try to do something different, right?
Yeah.
Let's go into a territory that we are not known for, but we're gonna give you that same beautiful animation that we are known for. It's just in a different genre, in a different take.
They're
I
like-
support it, quite frankly. Right?
Arc System Works
Because-
is like making this game. They're like, I'm gonna wreck these guys' whole career. I'm gonna make this game just
Exactly.
raise the standard, and no one's ever gonna be the same.
Yeah, the fighting games might be brutal, but this one is going for your kokoro, right? This one is going for the heart, man. You're gonna cry your face. This game looks like it's gonna make you cry like 5 rivers, right? So, this game is coming this summer, only for the Switch 2. I don't know why, but it's what it is. So depending
It's
if I have
probably
a
because
Switch 2.
everybody anticipated the Switch 2 was gonna sell really, really well,
Well, I mean,
and it kind of has.
It kind
actually.
of has, yeah. It's just
It actually
it's
really
kind of
has.
limiting because people are on lottery still trying to get a system. So I don't know. It's not as if like it's just
I thought-
sitting at.
I
the
thought that
store.
Reddit boycott was gonna be really effective,
Yeah,
and I'm just so surprised.
Yeah, me too. There's what people say, and then there's what actually happens. Words are words, actions are actions, right? Yeah, but this game is coming out, and I'm really looking forward to it. And one day, maybe Arc System Works will bring this same kind of beautiful animation to, I don't know, a JRPG? Maybe?
That could be cool.
Maybe
I would want
a
him. I
Blaze
would want him
Blue
to embrace.
JRPG?
I would
Guilty
wanna-
Gear JRPG?
Maybe. I will.
Yeah, I
want
mean,
them to do a little
the world
closer
and
to
the
the fighting
characters are
game
already there.
visuals.
Yeah,
Little-
all the stuff's already there. They could
Little-
totally make it if they wanted to.
Little
but-
less art house. I mean,
Yeah.
the arty stuff is cool. It's neat for like a art project.
Well, no, I want a Guilty Gear RPG.
Yeah,
It
that's-
wouldn't be the artsy stuff, but it'll be like the beautiful animation still.
But this is like
super fluid.
this is
Oh,
why
this is different.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
this
feel like
is one of
this
those
is
things
their,
I talked
like-
about before, where
Yeah.
you need a palette cleanser, not just
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, the player, but for like the game developers.
Oh God, yes.
Could you imagine
Absolutely.
just working on nothing but fighting games for 20 years?
They need some like kind of outlet to explore other possibilities and other kind of story writing, right?
Yeah.
It's not even just like the animators, like animators, the writers, they're like, can I just write something else that doesn't involve killing something this time? Just
Yeah.
I support it. I think it's great. We'll see how the game actually sells. I doubt it's gonna sell super well. I don't think it's gonna be like the game of the year, but again, palette cleanser. We need it. We all do.
All right. So check out what's this next one? I think this is this me? Yeah, this is me.
This is you.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, I saved the best for you, Mr. Derek.
thank
And
you,
it's not
'cause
horror.
I'm pretty
Despite
pretty
the name.
stoked. I'm pretty
Yeah.
stoked. So we all kind of knew that this was going to come out here at some point after the success of the games like Wukong, Liza P, Stellar Blade. Chinese companies are reconsolidating their resources to try to make similar AAA series or single player experiences. So here is NetEase's take on it, called Blood Message. This is going to be a game that's set in the final years of the Tang Dynasty in China, and will have the player travel 1,000 miles back to Chang'an, the heart of the Tang Empire.
Wow,
is it
you
Tang or
were
is it
pretty
Tang?
good. You were pretty on point with that pronunciation. That was
Thank
pretty
you.
good. Yes.
I appreciate that. All right, let's check out Blood Message. And is it Tang
Yeah.
Empire or is it Tang Empire?
Tang.
Tang. Okay.
Tang. Yeah. Tang Dynasty and it's Chang'an.
Ah.
Yeah. So you were close. You were close. I'll be playing. I'm probably gonna play this in Mandarin if I play this, because again, I like playing games in the original language.
Sure. I think that Scorpion was setting unrealistic expectations, too high standards for Scorpions in RPGs.
You know what I do appreciate about this game? I'm not like a big fan of like the wushu looking like aesthetics, but this is more realistic. Like
It-
this
Yeah.
is probably what the age looked like, you know, back then. Like it's pretty cool. This is a
Something
little bit
a little
more
less,
historical. This feels more like a Ghost of Tsushima kind of thing. You know,
a
what I'm
little
saying?
less mystic, a little more
Yeah.
true to life.
Yeah.
And that's not a representation we've seen a lot in media, I think.
Yeah. Which I like a lot. When I saw this, I was actually super excited that they're finally gonna step away from the mystical wushu flying dragon hidden tiger, or
Yeah.
did I get that wrong?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah. Like, not that I hate that, but it's just like it's a little overdone in
little-
my mind.
Yeah. When it becomes the only way you're able to showcase your culture, like
Yeah.
historically, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think something a little
feels-
more rooted and grounded in reality would be pretty cool.
Yeah, this looks way more realistic.
I mean, probably still pretty. What's the word?
Like Wukong is cool in his own right, but that is decidedly a like non-real, like realist, like real story. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it,
right.
it is mythical, and it's fine. This is a little bit of a mix between, if I have to say, what's that other game called? That was pretty big recently. Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like that medieval game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like more like realistic medieval. Oh, there. Oh, okay. So they're out like in the western part of China, which is why you see like a little bit of like maybe a little bit of like Indian or like
Mongolian
southwestern sort of like Asia looks involved.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's a story about a guy who's trying to make it back home from that
1,000
part of the
miles.
world.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what AAA looks like when NetEase is making it. And
I know.
I'm actually pretty excited about this.
This is pretty sick.
This is pretty sick. Keep an eye out for this. Yeah, I that's the thing. Like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, that's also like a pretty mythical like kind of thing. Like if you actually read it, it's not like pure history. It's like half history and half like not history.
Mhm. Half history, half mythology.
Yeah, basically. It's like
Yeah.
there's some magic and stuff involved too. It's like this ain't history, man. But like I guess the people back then, they really thought that it happened, right? So
Uh-huh.
and they probably recorded like it's actual history because they truly believed it back then, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. This is what NetEase is capable of if they were to do a AAA game that is aiming to crush the other AAA games of the world. They have the resources.
Wow.
They can do it. They have the technology. They can do it. So they're like, all right, here we go. We're gonna try this and see what happens. And I think
looks pretty
it's gonna
dang good.
be, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty crazy. We'll see, but we'll see. That there's
Yeah.
the promise, and then there's the actual product. And sometimes they don't actually deliver, but sometimes they
Sometimes
deliver
they do.
exactly. So we'll see what happens.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
So moving along, we have some industry news to talk about, and I think you already kind of touched on. I went ahead and put Alzara here at the top. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but you can dive into it more if you'd like.
Why don't I? Yeah, why don't you start talking about it? I'm gonna pull something up.
Sure. I have
Just
nothing
the-
really to go off of except yeah, I heard through the grapevine, through my
Mhm.
Discord, that Alzara. What was the name of the full? I feel like there was a longer title for it.
Alzara Radiant Echoes.
Yes, Alzara.
You know what
Radiant
we should
Echoes.
do? We should show the people what Alzara looked like, or at least what the
Oh, yeah.
video looked like, so that way they have like a visual, and
Yeah, let me
then
pull that
we
up.
will talk about what isn't ever coming.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So you'll do that, and I'll pull something up.
Yeah, the official reveal trailer. I remember this.
Oh yeah,
So,
let's watch that.
The first time I actually heard about Alzara was in the weeks or a week or two leading up to its announcement.
Mhm.
So this is what they were showing. So yeah, this is the trailer that they sent me about
Dude, look at
2
this.
weeks before the announcement of the game to see if I would be interested in helping hype the game up. They definitely
looks
reached
so
out to a lot
freaking
of
good.
fellow content creators in advance, with promises that this would be like the next big thing. And I didn't make a video
And I
about
believe them, quite frankly.
it. Well, I mean, I didn't really have any reason not to believe them, but I didn't also just really appeal to my sensibilities at the time. So I didn't make a video talking about it. But
Oh, you'd have a field day if you did.
yeah, I mean, that looks kind of neat. I know that there were some rounds of the internet that were having a field day with it for being, you know, I don't know the word to use appropriately here, but like, for lack of a better term, for being the woke game, I guess. And I don't even want,
Yeah,
I don't even want to like bring up that whole discussion because
yeah, I don't even want to entertain.
yeah,
like,
but
the-
but there was like a whole that was the whole like counter cultural response to it in a lot of ways, and it just didn't seem like anything I wanted to touch with a 10-foot pole. As a
in their
result,
mind, only one culture exists, and if you don't talk about that culture, you're woke. Like what?
yeah,
You know, other people exist in this world. Like, calm down.
yeah.
I suppose you know, Blood Message, that's totally woke. Ugh, making a game about China, Chinese company making a game about
Hey,
China.
it's not that woke because it didn't have a female protagonist. Now, if it did,
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. If there was a female protagonist, oh no,
okay,
oh no.
let's not go into that whole discussion
Yeah,
though.
that whole world.
So
But I will have a field day with this because I paid for this game, but
you did.
it's gonna be a different reason. So, can you pull up the share screen? Did you get the share screen?
Oh
from
yeah.
that earlier? Yeah.
I need to add that.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
So I
wait,
am
I can't
going
share your
to.
screen. Because you haven't
I am
shared
gonna-
me your screen.
I thought I sent it to you. No.
Nope.
No?
Not
What's this?
in Discord anyway.
Try this one.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll pull that up here. All right.
So
go ahead and
what we're
start
really
talking now.
looking at here is an update from June 17th, a little bit under a month. And it is from Studio Camellia, talking about their shutting down and their, oh, will you look at that? Their sincerest apologies and an explanation as to what happened.
Mhm.
So yeah, why I ripped them apart for this. I'll read it. I'll skim read it. Can you see this? Should I maximize? Sorry,
You
magnify.
could zoom in a little further if you wanted to.
Yeah,
That's
more
good.
like this.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Here's an update. It's very difficult for us to write without deep sadness that we announce the closure of Studio Camellia. In this update, we will take the time to explain the circumstances that led to the outcome, as well as provide clarity regarding Kickstarter in the future. Blah blah blah. Okay, so how we got here? They talk about, you know, oh, we were so inspired to make a game, yada yada. Oh my god, all these things that doesn't quite matter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we used that success to develop a new demo, yada yada, potential partners around the world. We had in-depth discussions early this year, but unfortunately, none of them resulted in a contract, despite having a playable demo, a senior team, half of the funding secured in the Kickstarter campaign. We spared no effort and tried to hold on as long as we could. Okay, so far so good still,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
This is part of the harsh reality of the industry. We are creatives, but we need funding to keep creating. Sometimes, even having a promising game concept and proven market interest and a strong team is not enough. Many say that every released game is a miracle, and that couldn't be more true. Still fine. I get it. It kind of happens. The part that gets a little irritating now is once we start getting the facts. The studio's liquidation was declared on April 28th. They were liquidating in April. So late April, they are already liquidating. And at the time of writing,
this is a pretty
legal
late
procedures.
response.
Yeah.
Okay.
This came out in June 17th.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get
2
through all the
months.
heartfelt, all the story, let's look at the facts now. The fact is the liquidation was in April 28th. And you don't just like wait until the very next day, the last day, 27th, and then all right, the next day we're liquidating, goodbye, right?
Yeah.
No,
The
you
writing was on
knew
the
it
wall
was
for a
coming
while.
probably months in advance.
Uh-huh.
And yet they've said nothing to the community.
Sure.
Not like we're in financial trouble. It doesn't look like we can make it. Help us find we're trying to secure the deal. Nothing. Just we're liquidate. And then as of the time of that writing, various legal procedures were underway. So as you can imagine, we're unable to share the details of these procedures as they pertains to liquidation of a company. You understand, right? That's why we couldn't talk about it. But nothing stops you from talking about it like in March or like February
Before
or January, like 3 months leading up to a liquidation. I think is pretty fair to say, hey, it looks like we might be having some trouble, like, like anything at all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is now on indefinite pause. There's a slim chance that a third party might one day step in and offer to take over a project. And if that happens, the game would inevitably take a different direction than what was presented during the campaign, but hopefully for the better. I doubt it, right? Like, who's going to step in and take up all the debt and all the people who had funded the game, right? Like, no.
Like you have no money at this point, no assets,
No.
essentially.
No one's going to do. No one's
But you have a
that.
lot of, like you said, debts or obligations.
Yeah. Like no one would do that. Like, I'm sorry, but like ideas are dime a dozen.
It's like the opposite of a Kickstarter.
Yes. Would anyone like to take up these obligations?
It's like instead of starting with funding, you start with the opposite of funding, which are obligations. Nobody is going, unless they were like, dude, I would totally independently fund this game and, make it. No.
They needed like an Expedition 33 situation,
Yeah.
Like that's the Hail Mary.
But you usually start with that funding. You don't like find it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, anyways, let me just continue and then we can talk a little bit about it. So, and then this, I think this is the part that really got me like really upset, because after you read this, it's like, really, your liquidation was in April? And then they're like, well, as you know, backing a Kickstarter project comes with risk. The very idea of the platform is to give creator a boost so they can bring their projects to life. It does not guarantee the final commercialization of the project, and therefore there is always a risk it won't come to fruition. Neither the studio nor Kickstarter is able to refund your contribution to the project, and we are truly sorry for that. And for more information, you can talk to Kickstarter. It's like the most like it's starting to turn into like the most non like apologetic anything. Like they just don't want any responsibility whatsoever. They're just like, yeah, no, this is not just sorry.
I mean, what's the appropriate way to, in the event of a failed Kickstarter, what does a good like, sorry, you're not getting your money back message look like?
Not this, because here's the thing. When it comes to like stuff like this, it's really hey, the risk, like it doesn't happen. Yeah, and you're not getting your money back. Sorry. I just this sounds so, how should I put it? This sounds so impersonal. It's not like we tried, it just didn't work. It's like, yeah, no, this is like probably what a lawyer told us to write, so that we'd be absorbed with all and any legal dispute, blah, blah, blah.
Does,
like,
it does definitely like the, as you know, that's sort of like,
yeah.
Well, did I know that? Are you sure I knew that? Are you saying that so that I don't feel, like I'm entitled to something?
Yeah, exactly. And I hated this whole thing. So that's
the end
where we are. And then, more heartfelt, worthless. I think the key point is that they declared liquidation in April. And then they released this note in June. Let's say that they can't talk about it during the liquidation, which I believe there's a lot of legal stuff happening. They can't push things out. They can't make public statements. I get it. But what happened to, April 1st or April 2nd? Well, April 1st probably a bad time to talk about anything serious because it's April Fool's Day. But what about April 5th? How's that? Like, or April 8th, just 20 days before, right? How about March 2nd? Is that a good day? Like, I'm sure
Well,
you know you're not in good shape, like as late as March, right?
you
Or as
have to
early as March.
you do have to wonder, like, so I wonder if part of the problem were they still that they weren't still accepting kickstarts that late into the game, were they? Like, that's by that point the window had closed.
I feel like if they wanted to, they can do like a second round of funding. They could be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
listen, it doesn't look like things are going well.
Well,
We
I'm just
need
trying to find
additional
out
funding."
or figure out
Yeah.
the motivation, if it was sort of like a, well, we need to make sure that it's past like the 90-day window from when our last Kickstarter was, so that we can't get charged back or whatever. Who knows? It's
Well,
it's
I
hard to
mean,
say.
when did the campaign start? I guess that
It's
may
been like a
answer.
year. That Kickstarter happened. The release of that video was,
There were 5,000 backers, like almost 5,100 people who like never get their money back. And then there are people who like really throw in the big money.
yeah.
Let
I
me see.
yeah,
Like
I don't
people
know.
who like threw in like 800 pounds. These 5 people are so pissed.
Oh
They're
yeah,
so pissed. They threw 800 pound each, to
yeah.
get a
That's
legendary statue and a private Discord. Okay, they could probably get that. A dev team. Oh, they're gonna get the dev team T-shirt. Can you imagine if they're like, no game, but here's the T-shirt
I
with
paid $800 for an indie RPG, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at them. I'm just laughing at the
You have to laugh
situation
or you'll
in my
cry,
head
right?
as they try to make it right. They're not. I feel bad for these people, and I also
Hmm.
just so you know, I threw in what? How much money did I put in? I put in. Hold on. I probably did the physical cost. So I probably put like 58 pounds, which is like not the end of the world, but
Sure.
knowing me, I probably went for the physical copy. Just the physical copy. I don't need anything else. But yeah, like, can you imagine being one of these people, or one of these 21 unfortunate souls that threw in 400 pounds?
That's rough.
Yeah, just
So, I
any
mean,
anyone
this
who's
should
thrown
be
in, yeah.
a good reminder, though, to everybody,
Mhm.
that there are, in fact, risks that come with kickstarting games.
Yeah.
So, and we do showcase a lot of Kickstarters for indies. It does seem like most of the ones that we've shown off, though, have come to fruition.
Or at least they are
In
actively like
progress.
engaged
Hmm.
in in
Yeah.
what is it called? Like, well, a
I
lot of them
think
actually ends up having a publisher and they're fine.
I could be wrong when
Mhm.
I say this. So take what I have to say with a grain of salt, because I haven't done any statistical analysis. But it does seem like, and as far as like kickstarting projects go, video games are kind of the more sure thing most of the
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
because a lot of times those indie devs are really passionate and they'll continue to work on them in their spare time, the way that they already have been for
Yeah.
ages. So
I
I
think that's
guess,
the other thing that like upsets me a lot about this.
yeah.
I think you hit it in the nail right there, because here's the thing. We've talked to indie devs. As you guys know, we've
Mhm.
brought them on the show to talk to them. And we hear stories about how they work like into the wee hours on their own without funding, and just continue it even as a passion project, even if there's no more funding.
Yeah.
They would just do it as a hobby. It will take indefinitely longer, but they will keep working on it, right?
Yeah. So the
This
only way you
is like
become
throwing in a
insolvent like
towel.
this is
Yeah,
if
this is
you start spending money, like going
Mhm.
into debt
Yeah.
to buy things
Like, look, I don't recommend them. Like, it's not that I think that they should be fiscally irresponsible and just go into debt to make it
Mhm.
happen.
Right.
Though, let's say, for example, if I am one of the developers on this thing and the company closes, I would be like, hey, look, we ran out of money. We couldn't keep working on it. However, I'm gonna keep working on it as like a side thing, I don't know when this will come out, but I'm not dropping it and just
Well,
being like, all right,
here's
see you guys later,
well,
goodbye. You
here's
ain't
I
getting
think
nothing
why.
back.
I
Yeah.
think this is why they definitely went into some kind of debt,
Mm-hmm.
like in the process of developing this. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to liquidate your assets when
Yeah.
you run out of funding. You only
but
have to
even
liquidate your
then-
assets
But
when
even
you
then, right?
need to pay
even
off.
then,
Yeah,
yeah. So the company files for bankruptcy. Now I don't know how the laws would work in,
they'd probably
I
be
think
auctioned off the
France.
IP rights.
Yeah, but if the IP rights didn't get sold and they're only liquidating like physical capital, like assets,
Hmm.
the creator still owns the IP, right? Because
Maybe
that's what the document read like. They're like, one day someone will step up and do it, right?
a third
So I'm
party.
like, okay.
Maybe.
And if that's the case, they could just keep working on it, as professional and just like bona fide work, right? They could just
Yeah.
do it on their off hours. They'll do it like, I'll work on it 6 hours a week. I will work on it until it's done.
Yeah.
And then we'll find a publisher and then they'll publish it, right? They could do that. A lot of indie developers do that without
Yeah.
grand studio. So it's not like there isn't a way. We've talked to indie devs. They've explained to us how they do it, but this is not the route they chose. They chose to just drop it. Just like, yep, nope, this is done. Yeah, no, we couldn't find a publisher. Goodbye. Someone will pick it up one day. Who knows? We'll see. It's very irresponsible.
Yeah, it feels bad,
Nothing
man.
about this tells
That's
me
for
that
sure.
they were being responsible to the people who have shown them the love and trusted them with their money. So I am not happy with how they handle this at all.
Yeah, it seems like that's yeah. This is, and I think that was this also a game that was developed in France.
I believe so.
So
I
there's
believe this is
probably
France.
different laws and things that apply to IP rights when somebody undergoes
You know,
liquidation.
so
It's hard. I don't know.
yeah, the only thing that I don't exactly know is when it comes to bankruptcy laws.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to IP and when it comes to like accounting laws, surprisingly similar to the States. Like EU is surprisingly similar to the States. For obvious reasons, like especially like patents and that sort of stuff is actually intellectual property is actually surprisingly similar to the States. It's just the business laws I'm not exactly certain. But if they if they set up like an LLC or something to that effect and the LLC is liquidated, but if they have it so that the owner still retains the right to the IP, they could certainly just keep working on it. There's nothing.
I guess it depends on how you structured it. Like, did you say this is my IP that I have as this business entity, and I am allowing you to use it for your development?
Well, so the thing that struck me about that may not necessarily be the case, and again, here's the other thing is that I'm not certain if they would have written it out here, but I feel like if that was the case, they would have written something along the lines of this IP is now owned by like another entity, and if they so choose to move forward with it, then that would be like their like discretion, something to that effect, right? But they didn't say
True.
that. They said maybe a third party will come up and take over. Who knows?
Yeah.
That and again, even just the tone of that sounds extremely irresponsible. It's not we're actively looking for a third party despite closing the studio.
true, yeah.
We're hoping to find someone who will continue the legacy. It wasn't that. It's like no, we're just not going to do anything. We'll
also-
do nothing else.
It
That's
also
It's
feels
done.
like there's very little to inspire a third party to get on board, since we haven't really heard a whole heck of a lot since the Kickstarter campaign.
Well,
Then again, I
apparently there's a
didn't
playable
I didn't
demo.
Kickstart it, but
Apparently,
Yeah.
there's a playable demo. At least release the dang demo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we paid you good money. Like, just release this stupid demo. I don't know. No, but maybe they can't do that. Okay, maybe that's a hair too far, releasing things. But it's just the whole document just sounds very removed Like they're removed from the situation.
Impersonal.
We're not responsible. We're not going to do anything. Too bad,
Could it
so
be?
sad.
Could it be a translation thing?
It could be, but the facts of the matter is, for example, the whole thing about declaring liquidation on April and not saying anything prior, that has nothing to do with translation. So action speaks louder than words, and I just don't feel like they have been very transparent or responsible.
To their credit, I will say,
Mhm.
in glancing over this, I don't see any M dashes or
So it's not ChatGPT written, is that it?
probably not, or at least it's been, gone over with a fine-toothed comb. So somebody probably actually wrote this.
They probably had an actual lawyer who used ChatGPT to write it and then remove all the M dashes professionally.
Maybe that's it.
You could also just tell ChatGPT to not use M dashes,
You could do
and it will
that.
do it. Yeah.
I mean, but there's other tells, and I don't.
That's true. Yeah.
We're not just making the next big RPG. We're revolutionizing how RPGs are made.
Yeah. I don't like how detached this whole thing sounded.
Yeah.
But to your point, it could be a translation thing. But it doesn't resolve them of, like
Absolve.
the actions that they have taken or the lack thereof. Right.
Yeah.
So there it is. That is the whole rant with Alzara. I feel like I've got my $50 worth back of complaints, more like 60.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you got burned, everybody, you know what? Let us know in the comments down below if you've been burned on Kickstarter backs of RPGs, or is this your first time? Like how common is it? Because it feels pretty uncommon, and the fact that like this one that was just kind of like knocking around in the back of my head for the last year or so, like I'm like, oh yeah, Alzara went under. That was weird.
This is the first I've heard in a while. Like there was a time when Kickstarter was more of a Wild Wild West, but once people understood how it works and how the progression of the game funding should work from like a developer perspective of finding publisher,
it feels like it's been
pretty
streamlined.
smooth. It's been pretty streamlined, yeah. But this is the first in a while of just major like mess up when it comes to Kickstarter.
Now, here's the thing that I don't recall exactly. I don't think when they reached out to RPG tubers to start with, I'm pretty sure it was not a paid thing, if I recall correctly. I think though that what they were doing was like, sign up now to get access to this, information a week in advance, and something about it just felt weird. So I just didn't really touch it. Yeah.
Well, good thing you didn't.
Well, I mean, sure.
Also, if you did, you can have a series of not so pleasant videos.
Oh, I could
going.
Oh yeah, nothing gets clicks like misery. Yeah, I don't.
I learned a new word yesterday. I'm such a boomer. I learned a new word. It's called drama farmer.
Drama farmer.
Drama farmer.
Oh, I thought you said it was like with an R. Drama farmer.
Oh, drama. Yeah, drama farmer.
Drama farmer.
Drama farmer.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know some drama farmers.
Oh yeah, we all know a couple of those. But they sell clicks. That's what it is. They sell views.
Yeah.
So that concludes Alzara. Let's move on to better news, shall we? Let's move on to a little bit more upbeat. Let's talk about something fun. Bandai Namco Showcase, and that's not me being sarcastic. Like, it is actually pretty cool. Bandai Namco Showcase happened on July 2nd. Did you watch it at all?
No.
You should totally watch it. We didn't go over a lot of things from there because like they're really just going in depth into games that they have already announced. They didn't really do any new announcements. So like Little Nightmare 3, Towa, Super Robot Wars. They actually did a whole segment of Super Robot Wars, which is pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, Super Robot Wars. They talked about this new character on Tekken or whatever, but like It's all really cool. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, like some Thai boxing guy. I mean, he looks.
I'm
cool,
just
don't
waiting
get
to
me
see
wrong,
more
I'm
like
just-
Tales of
yeah.
Remastered information.
Yeah, I was hoping there'll be more Tales of Remastered, but I feel like they're waiting for TGS for that. So
Probably.
that's probably a good reason why they haven't like talked about it. But the thing that I really picked up on from watching that whole showcase actually is not the games. The games themselves I already knew. It was like Digimon or whatever. Like we've talked about it multiple times. We've talked about Super World. We've talked about all these things. The
Yeah.
thing that really showed up that I feel like Square Enix should learn from. Okay, and you'll understand why I brought up Square Enix is because when they do each of those segments, they have their respective games like producer or director talk
Mhm.
about the game in front of the camera. You get to see their faces and everything. They introduce themselves. It's like, I'm the producer of da da da. I'm the director,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Right? Here's the thing: all of them are our age or younger.
Okay.
You see what I'm getting at with this? All
Yep.
these directors and producers, like the people who are heading these projects,
I would
Little
say that
Nightmare 3, Super Robo,
I would
all
say
these
that they're
games.
young blood, but when
Yeah.
you say that they're our age,
Okay, well they're
they're not
young
really
blood
that young.
compared to like Nomura or like
Mhm.
Tabata or Yoshi
Well,
P. Like we're
see, I
not
was
in our
gonna say
50s yet.
this is
So
why
yeah.
this is why Square Enix doesn't bring everybody out because they just have Nomura doing everything.
Well, now it's Yoshi P. Nomura went on
that's true.
vacation.
That's
Yoshi
true.
P just like took over, and now Yoshi P's like running 7 games. I don't know, but like that's the problem with Square Enix or
Yeah.
some other company. And let's not pick on poor Square Enix all day. Like there are other companies too, not even necessary gaming companies, where they refuse to sort of raise from above, raise from within,
Yeah.
and try to develop their talent. But this is what talent development is about: is giving them the spotlight, giving them the responsibilities, giving them the freedom to create, and give them room to grow. Right? Give them the opportunity. Uh, but clearly Bandai Namco knew what they needed to do to sort of like raise like it, for lack of a better word, a new generation of these like star producers and directors, right? And if you watch the showcase, that's actually the number one thing that stuck out to me, not the games themselves.
But
The games themselves is whatever. It's the people working on the games.
Yeah.
Well, so
that's good.
I highly recommend it that you guys take a watch and then you tell me, like, because I'm pretty convinced that they're doing the right thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And Square Enix, if you're watching, well, probably not us, but hopefully you saw Bandai Namco Showcase and you think about what you're doing now. I think that they should do more of that than pushing poor Yoshi P to like, Yoshi P, you got to work on Final Fantasy 16 and 14 and the expansion for 15 and this other new project that we're now making you the director for. And you have to also design the character and write the plots. Thank you. just, just produce 5 games.
You know what? Let's bring Nomura back. I want to see some more zippers.
I don't even know what Nomura is doing anymore. Is he just like working on Kingdom Hearts 4 only? Have they learned
hopefully.
to?
It would be nice if he
know.
just had one thing to focus on for a while.
It's funny because I was just talking about this with a friend yesterday, and she's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. She's like, God, even she was like, Nomura is terrible as director.
Yeah, he's a good character
Unless-
designer.
Yeah, unless there's one person who is there who's constantly like, you're only allowed to make one game and one game at a time only. And I was like,
did
yeah.
Nomura work on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
I think so. I think so.
I was gonna say he must have been involved in that at some point because I know that he was in
Kingdom Hearts.
Remake.
And Kingdom Hearts 4. Which is
Yeah.
why Kingdom Hearts 4 is like, I haven't
Still
heard
not out
anything
yet.
about Kingdom Hearts 4 in a minute.
Yeah.
We talked about it around the Nvidia leak, remember?
Yeah. Oh man.
And then like
You know
it
what
was
I
like
remember?
2 weeks later, he was like, "Oh, here's Kingdom Hearts 4," and then nothing else.
Let's see. I want to look this back up.
Mhm.
Okay. It has officially been 7 years since Bethesda announced Elder Scrolls 6. That was
Oh, boy.
June 10th of 2018.
Oh my god.
7 years.
Time flies, man.
Over
Crazy.
7 years.
Time flies. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. And it's
I was
still not
still a
out.
baby streamer.
Still no
in
trailer.
2018.
Still no trailer. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's okay.
Anyways, yeah.
It'll
So
come when it comes.
with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom
Move
Hearts
on
not
to
doing
the-
so bad. Kingdom Hearts
Let's
4,
move on
they got
to
time.
another company that we want to talk about that we love, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Sega mistakenly review sales numbers. Isn't that fun?
Oh man.
Yeah, let's share a
yeah.
screen. Let's read this.
Okay.
So this is we're at the Gamematsu website, and then we're gonna read it. It was actually originally reported by Reset Era, so shout out to Reset Era and also our friends over at Gamematsu. Sega accidentally shared sales numbers of some of their biggest game in a 25-page PDF, right? So according to Reset Era, they had the Sega Sammy Corporation, right? So it's not just Sega, it's like Sega Sammy. They released a 25-page PDF for some kind of a meeting. Some poor intern was probably a junior analyst, was probably responsible for like erasing these numbers. But instead, because of the way that they had removed the numbers, all they had to do was to highlight it, and the numbers are there.
Oh no.
So they didn't delete the numbers, they just like changed it, I guess, so that it's just like it's the same color.
They
as
gave it a
things, but
black
the
background
numbers
or
are still
something.
there.
They highlighted it in black. Oh my gosh, no.
So they're like, what? Here are their
Technology is
numbers.
hard.
Technology is just so hard, guys. Anyways, it's a crazy story in its own right, but we got some numbers for Sega. And now we know why they keep milking Persona 5. Look at these numbers for Persona 5. This is why they keep milking it.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
It's like millions and millions of dollars like every
time.
freaking year. Other than like this one year, oh no, we only made 350K. Yeah, no, poor sales.
Oh, I wonder, is Metaphor on there?
These are sales numbers. Sorry, they're not dollars. They're sales number. Yeah. Oh, we only sold 350K. Oh no.
Yeah. Is Metaphor's not on there, is it? Oh, that's
Metaphor is not on here. No.
That would have been good to see.
That would have been good to see. But yeah, like a Dragon, respectable. Like 1.18 million sold, and then 480K. Yeah, not bad. For that series, not bad. Oh, P3 Reload, also similarly not terrible, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's probably gonna sell a little bit more. So, Sonic Superstar, surprisingly well.
Sonic fans are pretty dedicated.
It would sell that much. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of have to be to still be Sonic fans.
The Man Who Raised His Name. So this is the spin-off with Kiryu. Respectable, actually, for a spin-off game. Respectable.
Almost a million.
Like, yeah, almost a million. That's not bad. That's not bad. Sales numbers. These are not dollars. That's not how much they made. It's how many copies they've sold. Pretty good. Sonic Frontier, not bad, right? It's 3.2 million copies sold on the first year.
That's
pretty
good.
dope. Yeah. So overall, their numbers are pretty healthy. So I'm glad they shared it, or not shared it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, accidentally shared, but that's fine. That's cool.
Is it an accident?
They leaked their sales numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any reason that they wouldn't let that information out at some point?
I honestly don't know, other than maybe some kind of market manipulation.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if you're a public company, then you have to release your sales numbers. But if you're
have to release your financial numbers. You can say how much you've made in certain areas, but you don't have to announce physical copy numbers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Like we made 500 million yen, but how does it break down? They don't have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Pretty interesting stuff. Again, shout out to Gamatsu and Resleriana. They've done all the digging. We're just telling you on our podcast.
They did the highlighting.
They did the highlighting. I mean, to their credit, they found the fact that the numbers are there. They're like, oh my god, what is going on?
And we are just helping highlight their highlighting.
Yeah, we're highlighting their highlights. That's exactly what we're doing. All right, so that's Sega. Speaking of companies, they're making a huge comeback now. Let's talk about a Silent Hill remake. I did make a tweet on this. This is not like a crazy big story, but it's kind of a pretty cool story. The remake of the original Silent Hill game is in development now, and it is being developed by none other than Bloober Team, which worked on Silent Hill 2. Yeah, you know them. You played a game from them before, yeah.
Yeah. We go way back. when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll play more. Maybe whenever that happens.
Finish the game. Finish the game. I think it's cool. Good for Konami. Konami is making kind of a comeback. And you know, here's the thing. Like if they're making a comeback and there's basically anyone who's working on these things are maybe relatively new, does that mean that they are already just like not needing to worry about the old guard situation too much? I don't know, because I didn't see who's working on these things on their end. But like Silent Hill F is a completely fresh take, which is really cool. The Guilty Gear, not Guilty Gear, Metal Gear game, Delta, that's coming. That also looks really good. Despite Kojima not being involved. Silent Hill 2 obviously was a huge success to the point that they, unprecedented perhaps, and now the Silent Hill 1 is getting remade. They're doing all the right things.
You know, I can't wait for them to have a little bit of money in their pocket so they can start doing a few weird side projects.
That would be nice.
You know, it would be
they have
really
a lot
weird.
of IPs that they can
really
do
weird
projects on.
Because they did that Suikoden remaster.
That's right. Yeah,
they did that too. So I'd like to see another maybe remaster, Suikoden 3 through 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Do
pretty
people
cool.
like 5? I thought people.
Dude, 5 is good. Yeah,
5 is
people
good.
don't like 4. I like 4.
People like 4.
But yeah, 5 is generally, I think, considered like the second best of the Suikodens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, generally, you know.
Which one's the best one? 3?
A lot of people say 2 is the best.
Oh,
that's like the big one. But I liked 5 a lot. I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt. I haven't been keeping a pulse on the community in the last few years after I finished the series, but yeah, I would really like to see the PS2 games be more playable on modern platforms. That'd be pretty cool. But here's the big one.
That would be nice.
Here's the really big one though. Goemon. Ganbare Goemon, the series. Like we have the spiritual successor. I can't remember what it's called anymore, but it's
Fireworks one.
Yeah.
The drummer guy.
The drum guy.
That looks so cool.
Whatever happened to that? I need to look that up. It's
up,
probably out. It's probably been out for like a year. I don't know.
It's been out. We covered it.
Oh yeah, we did cover it. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like Goemon and I like Ibisamaru and I want to see more.
Yeah. I also want to see more of that. I grew up playing that game series, and I can't say that I understood everything that was going on because they used some pretty complex Japanese that I didn't really understand.
A lot of puns.
Probably, and that's why I didn't understand what they were saying half the times. But I would like to revisit that series, but this time in a language that I'm more comfortable with.
Dude,
we'll see.
The Nintendo 64 games were a lot of fun. And one of them, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, is an action adventure game, not entirely unlike Zelda.
Oh,
like
interesting.
Like Ocarina of Time ish, I would say. Closest thing to Ocarina of Time on the 64 that is not a Zelda game.
And there's a lot of things they could do.
It's also
a lot of fun things they can do.
not a lot of competition, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
go Konami.
Next bit of news. We briefly talked about this. This is in regards to BitSummit 13th. BitSummit, as some of you may know, is the largest indie game festival in Japan. So it's kind of like, think TGS, but like indie games. In Japan. Yeah. So this is their 13th, as the name would imply, event. And it is going to happen in July 18th through July 20th. And you can expect us to cover a bunch of new indie games around that time. I don't remember when TGS is happening. When is TGS happening this year?
Don't know.
Let me look. TGS.
I could Google it, but
2025 September. Okay, so we have some time. Yeah, so this is gonna be like the what's the word? The appetizer, if you will, to the insanity that is gonna come later towards the end of summer, beginning of autumn, right? So, fun
dude,
times.
autumn is stacked. This is gonna be a rough autumn for a lot of us, I think.
It's always so great to be able to talk about all these exciting things coming, and then you look at your backlog and for content creators, not just the backlog, but your work backlog.
How dare you mention my backlog to me, sir? Is it not bad enough I have all of these staring me in the face every day, and I'm just like, I'm playing Oblivion again? I have to live with that guilt, okay?
You know what I've been obsessed with lately? I've been obsessed with playing this game called Repo lately.
Repo?
Have you ever heard of Repo?
No.
So Repo is what I just learned this new term. It's called friend slop. But basically it's like a pretty simple game, right? And friend slops are just like pretty simple games that doesn't have very deep like lore or whatever, but it's fun to play with your friends.
Okay.
Like what is that like animal battle game? Like there was this one
Cult of the Lamb.
No. It's a multiplayer game where you play as like animals, and then like it's like this like death match situation, and it's like a 3D map, and you just like fling your friends off the map, and like it's silly, it's fun. There's really no story to it.
I think I get the idea.
I gotta look this up. Like Party Animals. The game is called Party Animals. It's a really fun game to play with your friends. Yeah. But yeah, basically it's like this 3D animal avatar. You're thrown into a map with like random weapons and random maps, and then you just have to like fling your friends off the map and try to be the last person surviving, right? So it's like stuff like that. But
sounds kind of like sounds kind of like that game that has the ragdoll physics that are off the wall, and you're trying to like do an obstacle course with 100 other people.
Yes, similar to that. But in an arena, like in the kind of like an arena, with like with like hazards on the map, if you will. And many different maps to play with your friends.
See, this is why I don't talk about friend slop games. I talk about RPGs because I actually know what they're called.
Dude, Repo is so fun. I started playing Repo with some friends, and like I'm so hooked. But you're a bunch of robots that have to go into like a randomly generated map to like retrieve like valuables basically, and then like monsters will come out and attack you, and then you can, it does friendly fire, you can accidentally kill your friends, like accidentally kill your friends. It's a lot of fun, but I've been pretty stuck playing Repo lately. And ignoring my backlog because I just needed something that I don't need to think about, and I'm just like having fun with people, and like I don't care. I'm not analyzing this freaking game, which by the way, the game is like really well built anyway, so it's not like they just slapped a bunch of stuff together and just charged you like an obscene amount. It's like $5.99. It's like nothing, and it plays and it's fun. So Definitely a great palate cleanser compared to something like, I don't know, a Trails or a Tales game, and it's like super involved, like so much dread, and the world's ending, and it's 500 hours long. Yeah, this is definitely something I needed. Anywho, that's BitSummit, and the last piece of news that we have from the industry for you all is Persona Live Concert. Speaking of Persona and them milking this, this is actually, I don't think this is like a milking situation. This is the first time that Persona Live Concert is coming to the West and also to the States. So during the Anime
never
Expo,
saw it coming.
you never saw it coming. The Anime Expo that took place over the weekend, actually just this weekend, is Anime Expo in California. Atlas confirmed that Persona Live Concert will be coming to Los Angeles in January of 2026, so next year. And this will be the first Persona Live Concert to be held in the States and in the West, broader. I think they had one in Taiwan. They had one in China.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice of places. But now they're coming to the States. Yeah, the
Cheaper
only
tickets.
two other places that they have done this concert in is China and Taiwan. Right.
Yeah.
So they've not really brought it out to like Europe or the rest of the world. This is only the third place outside of Japan that they have this experience, which is pretty cool. And like Persona music is really good. So okay, you know what? Like hearing Takeover live would be pretty crazy. I don't know. Like it's so hyped. There's a lot of nice vocal tracks with like the live performing artists. I think it's gonna be fantastic,
dude. I think it would be so cool to get like an album of one of their live performances.
They might have it. So like they have certain like CDs, for example, for some of these like live concerts. I don't know how they would do it, but like Square Enix, right? They have the Near concert. They have like Distant World, which is the Final Fantasy concert.
You can also watch it on YouTube or something, recordings of them. They have decent recordings, but like it'd be pretty cool to be able to get like a press of, because dude, could you imagine listening to what's the song that plays in Persona 5 when you're like in your downtime, it's raining outside, Beneath the Mask is but like the instrumental version. But go ahead and have like the vocals, but then like let's go into like a 20-minute like solo, like freeform jazz like solo in the middle of that.
God,
dude, I would play that album daily.
That sounds so good.
Just let it take up the entire like A side of a record.
But we should hype responsibly.
We should.
we're just dreaming things
right
now. This is wishful thinking. We don't know if it's gonna actually happen, but if they did, that'd be so cool. I'd buy that album in a heartbeat. Yeah,
dude,
I get it.
Persona albums are expensive AF.
Yeah, the music. Oh man, I wonder how quickly these tickets will sell out. Like minutes.
I mean, some people will spend $1,000 on a pressing. I wouldn't be surprised if people would spend a little more for a life experience.
Oh, geez, Persona.
I know,
man. But there you go. There you have it, guys. Persona live concert coming January 2026. I'm sure we'll hear more about it in like the month or two leading up to it for you to buy tickets, blah, blah, blah. And when that happens, and if we catch wind of it, we'll let you guys know when the tickets are on sale so that you can try your luck and, camp at Ticketmaster or something with like 7 browsers and hopefully you get into a queue. Good luck.
So before we wind down, we did have a couple of super chats come in throughout the show. Both of them from Anthony H.
Hey.
So this first one actually came in before the show even started. And he says, "Happy Sunday. I recently watched an old episode from years ago. Within the same 10 minutes, Derek predicted Game Key cards, basically, and Oblivion Remastered. Amazing. I appreciate the show." Well, thank you, Anthony. I have not any recollection of making those predictions, but I'll gladly take credit. If you could tell me what episode that was, let me know. I want to check that out.
Yes.
That would be super cool.
Yes.
And then Anthony also had another message here. It says, Baku, what is your personal favorite game of the year so far? Do I
My personal game
should
of
I
the
take a
year?
guess of what your game of the year is?
Go for it.
All right.
Do you know what I played this year?
No. Have you played Expedition 33 yet?
Dang it. Yeah, I think Expedition 33 is my personal game of the year for this year so far. I mean, the year is we've only passed the midway point for the year.
Mhm.
So who knows? Maybe something else crazy will come up. I did enjoy if it counts for this year or last year, Yakuza Pirates, but
Oh yeah.
as far as like the polish is concerned, if I have to be unbiased, because obviously my bias is towards an entire Yakuza series,
Sure.
but I have to be unbiased and just speaking in terms of like game to game, like without consideration of any like attached like feelings to a series. Expedition 33 takes the cake easy. It's just such a well put together experience that is
Dang.
aesthetically pleasing as it is intriguing thematically, and it's so well done. It's so well done.
When did you
I keep
play
singing its
Metaphor?
praises, but
When did you play Metaphor ReFantasia? When did that finish? Was that this year or was that last year?
I feel like it is this year. Now, Metaphor is also good. The only thing that Metaphor didn't do for me is brevity, which
Yeah.
obviously Atlas is not known for. And at this point in my life, I would prefer them to keep their experience a little shorter.
A little more succinct, sure.
Yeah. It's like too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. Yeah,
I will
it
say
ran a little bit long.
that all of this hype around Expedition 33 makes it
Mhm.
a little tough to like want to go play it.
Why is
Just
that?
because I don't know, there's something about it, about all of the hype specifically, that has me like apprehensive about playing it. Maybe it's because I feel like there are expectations that I will enjoy it and that I have to like it, and that if
Yeah.
I don't make a video about it and if I don't really like it, then like I don't know, it's like some pressure to like make a
Well,
good video about it
no.
and talk about it and enjoy it.
Just
And I
secretly play and never tell anyone.
well, maybe I did.
Oh.
I didn't. But yeah, I mean,
But
like,
did
I
you?
think maybe that's why I haven't played it yet. Is just legitimately like
Mhm.
I don't know. When I play a game, like it's weird.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think it's weird. I think it's years of you being a content creator into space and like just having that experience with maybe some other games that had been told to you that is phenomenal, and then you're like, I don't think it was that good, and then people are coming with pitchforks. It's like that
Oh yeah,
PTSD.
yeah, sure. There's some
There's
of that,
certain game series that you're refusing to ever bring
or
up ever again, right?
the counter side of that is like I
Mhm,
will enjoy the heck out of that game, and I'll make a video. I'll put in a lot of work into it, but
mhm.
I've made the video like 2 years too late, and nobody cares. Like that's like I don't know. I feel like I'm Charlie Brown with the football, and like everyone's like, "Come on, it's a really good football.
Mhm.
Go give it a kick." I don't know. We'll see.
But
We'll see.
you're not gonna miss. I don't think you're gonna miss.
I mean, as long as my goal for it is to just find enjoyment, I think that'll be fine. Yeah.
I do think you should play it because it does change my perspective about the storytelling. Like, yes, other people can tell equally compelling story. It's not
Mhm.
like it's only Japan that can do this or only America that can do this. Other people can also do it. And they did. It's just testament of what the future holds, I think.
Yeah.
And experiencing that would make you a believer, if not already. So I think that if nothing else, I think that's the main takeaway for me is be on the lookout for the next Expedition 33 from a different part of the world that you didn't associate with game making necessarily, right? So
Yeah.
that's my takeaway anyhow.
Well, Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and that's it for the night.
that is it. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It has been a pleasure to stream for you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, give that like button some love. I really do appreciate it, and it helps the show grow. But until then, until next week, because we do stream every single Sunday. Until next week.
Every single Sunday.
Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.